In this video, we're going to talk about something many older men wonder about, whether they are still attractive as the years go by. The truth is, attraction does not fade when you reach your 60s or 70s. It changes. It becomes less about chasing attention and more about the quiet strength you carry, the calm way you handle life, and the presence people feel when you walk into a room. Others may see something rare in you that you no longer even notice in yourself. I'll be sharing 7 subtle signs that show you are far more attractive than you might believe. These are not tricks, and they are not about trying to act young again. They are about the dignity, wisdom, and steadiness that only come with age. Before we start, I'd love to know, where are you watching from today? Just drop your state or city in the comments below. Sign number 1, the quiet power of silence. In today's world, people are always rushing to speak, to fill every moment with noise. But when a man in his later years chooses silence, it doesn't make him invisible, it makes him stand out. Silence, when paired with confidence, carries more weight than 100 rushed words. It shows that you don't need to prove yourself, that you are secure in who you are. Think about it this way, when you walk into a room and you don't feel the need to talk over everyone else, people notice. They notice the way you listen, the way you give your full attention, the way you don't hurry to interrupt. That quietness tells others something powerful, that you are steady, patient, and thoughtful. And those are rare qualities. I once met a man in his mid-60s at a community center. He sat quietly for most of the evening, just listening. He wasn't trying to be the loudest or the funniest. But little by little, people began looking his way. They noticed his calm presence, the way he nodded when someone spoke, the way he gave respect without needing to show off. By the end of the night, when he finally shared a few words, everyone leaned in to listen. His silence had already prepared the room to value his voice. You can practice this in simple ways. The next time someone asks you a question, don't rush your answer. Pause for just 3 seconds. Breathe. Then speak. That pause will make your words feel more meaningful, and it will show others that you are thoughtful. Silence doesn't push people away. In fact, it draws them closer because it creates a sense of steadiness and respect. Sign number 2, calmness that never gets shaken. One of the strongest signs of attraction in later life is the ability to stay calm when others feel nervous or unsettled. Younger men often rush, stumble over their words, or try too hard to impress. But an older man who has lived through both storms and victories carries something rare, composure. That steadiness is powerful. It shows strength without needing to raise your voice or prove anything. Picture a simple moment at a family dinner. A grandson brings his girlfriend to meet the family. Many men might feel pressure to say the perfect words, to give compliments, or to joke in a way that proves their charm. But the grandfather at the table doesn't need to do that. Instead, he smiles warmly, asks her how her week has been, and listens to her answer with genuine interest. His calmness sets the tone for everyone else. The whole table relaxes, and people sense his quiet confidence without him even trying. This kind of calm is not something you force, it comes from years of experience. It comes from knowing you don't have to chase approval. You've seen enough of life to know that dignity is not in showing off, but in holding steady. And the truth is, people find that kind of steadiness deeply attractive. They trust it. They feel safe around it. You can practice this easily in your own life. The next time you meet someone new, whether at church, a neighborhood event, or even at the grocery store, don't rush to flatter or impress. Instead, ask a simple, genuine question like, what has been the highlight of your week? That small shift shows you are calm, grounded, and interested in the person, not in performing. People remember men who stay steady when others get nervous. That is quiet power, and it never goes unnoticed. Sign number 3, scars that tell a story. With age comes marks, some on the body, some in the heart. Many older men think scars or past struggles make them less attractive, but the truth is the opposite. scars are not signs of weakness. They are proof that you have lived, endured, and survived. People are drawn to resilience, and resilience is something only life experience can give. Think about it, wood without cracks looks plain. But the lines and patterns in aged wood make it beautiful, make it unique. In the same way, the scars and lessons of your life set you apart. They show you have faced storms, yet you are still standing. That survival carries a kind of quiet strength that younger people notice and admire, even if you don't see it yourself. I once heard a man in his early 60s speak at a small gathering. He had lost his wife years before. Instead of hiding his pain, he shared it calmly. I once rushed into a relationship because I feared being alone. That mistake cost me, but it taught me the value of standing on my own 2 feet. He didn't sound bitter or broken. He sounded wise. And because he spoke with honesty and dignity, everyone leaned in to listen. His scars did not push people away, they drew people closer. You don't need to hide the challenges you faced. The next time you share a story, don't just talk about achievements. Add one moment of honesty about a setback and what it taught you. Keep it simple, keep it steady. People will not see it as weakness. They will see it as strength. Scars make you original. They show you are not just another man blending into the crowd. You carry history, you carry lessons, and that makes you unforgettable. Sign number 4, you don't chase, you choose. One of the biggest differences in attraction as you grow older is this: you no longer have to run after attention. Real strength is not in being chosen, but in doing the choosing. Many older men forget this and fall into the habit of waiting, hoping someone will notice them. But the truth is, dignity comes from knowing your own worth and deciding who you allow into your life. When a man chases, he appears needy. When a man chooses, he appears confident. People are naturally drawn to those who know what they want and who stand on equal ground with others. That doesn't mean arrogance. It simply means you are clear, steady, and not desperate for approval. I once heard about a man named Charles, who was 68 and had joined a local dance class. Most men his age might have been nervous, worried about being turned down, or eager to grab any partner who would say yes. But Charles stood calmly, listened to the music, and then chose one woman whose rhythm matched his own. He walked over, extended his hand, and asked her to dance. He didn't try to win everyone's attention, he simply made a choice. And because of that, others noticed him. The women admired his clarity, and the men respected his confidence. You can put this into practice in your own life. Take a small piece of paper and write down 3 things you will not compromise in a relationship, your non-negotiables. It could be respect, kindness, honesty. Once you're clear about what you will not accept, you stand taller. You are no longer waiting to be picked. You are choosing what aligns with your values. That kind of presence is magnetic. People can feel it when you know your own worth. And when you choose, rather than chase, you become not only attractive, you become unforgettable. Sign number 5, the steady gaze that speaks without words. Long before you say a single word, your eyes reveal who you are. A steady, calm gaze is one of the strongest forms of attraction a man can carry. It shows confidence without arrogance, strength without force, and presence without asking for permission. When your eyes are steady, people feel that you are grounded, sure of yourself, and not seeking approval. Think of how many men look away quickly or shift their eyes nervously when speaking. It gives off the sense of hesitation or insecurity. But when you look someone in the eye with warmth and steadiness, you don't have to say much at all. Your gaze communicates, I am here. I see you. I am not in a rush. There was a man in his 70s who visited a small diner every morning. He never said much more than, good morning, but whenever he greeted the waitress, he looked directly into her eyes with a gentle smile. His gaze wasn't heavy or uncomfortable, it was calm, respectful, and certain. Long after the words faded, she remembered the way he looked at her. That quiet presence stayed with her far more than the loud customers demanding her attention. You can practice this easily. The next time you greet someone, whether it's the cashier at the store, a neighbor, or even a family member, hold eye contact for 3 full seconds. Not in a way that feels like staring, but in a way that feels calm and genuine. Add a small nod or a relaxed smile. That simple gesture carries more weight than any polished line or compliment. Your gaze reflects the life you've lived, the strength you've built, and the wisdom you carry. And when you allow it to meet someone else's with steadiness, you remind them, and yourself, that you are not invisible. You are fully present. Sign number 6, you live the present, not just promise the future. Attraction is not built on empty promises. It is built on presence. Many men, especially when they feel nervous, try to hold attention by talking about what will happen next, we should meet again, or I'll call you soon. But words about tomorrow mean little if today feels rushed or distracted. What truly leaves an impression is when you give your full attention to the moment you are in right now. There is something magnetic about a man who doesn't feel the need to bargain with the future, who instead makes the person in front of him feel valued in the present. People can sense when you are fully there, listening, smiling, asking thoughtful questions, and not checking your phone every few minutes. That kind of focus is rare today, and that is exactly why it stands out. I once noticed an older gentleman, maybe in his early 70s, sitting across from a woman at a small restaurant. It seemed like a first date. He didn't rush to talk about the next time they might meet. He didn't fill the air with promises or nervous chatter. Instead, he leaned back, smiled, and listened carefully to what she was saying. He laughed at her stories, asked about her experiences, and gave her the simple but rare gift of full attention. When they parted, she didn't walk away with promises. She walked away with the memory of being truly seen. You can practice this easily. The next time you sit with someone, whether a friend, a family member, or someone new, put your phone aside for at least half an hour. Let them feel that nothing else is pulling your attention away. Ask genuine questions about their day, listen without interrupting, and let the conversation unfold naturally. Sign number 7, you stay yourself, even if someone walks away. One of the deepest signs of strength and attraction is the ability to remain whole, even when someone turns you down or chooses to leave. Many men fear rejection, but true confidence is not in holding on tightly, it is in letting go with dignity. Detachment does not mean you stop caring. It means you know your value, and you don't let another person's choice take away from who you are. You may have seen men who crumble when they are told no, they sulk, withdraw, or lose their sense of worth. That reaction tells the world they depend on others to define their value. But when a man can hear rejection, nod politely, and carry on as himself, he shows rare independence. That calmness is deeply respected, and it is quietly attractive. I once knew a man in his 70s named Robert. At a neighborhood gathering, he asked a woman if she might like to have coffee sometime. She smiled kindly but declined. Many men would have felt embarrassed or disappeared into the background. Robert didn't. He smiled, wished her a pleasant evening, and returned to his chess game with a friend. His dignity remained untouched. His worth was never in her answer, it was in who he already was. You can practice this spirit of detachment in small ways. Each morning, look in the mirror and remind yourself, I am still myself, even if someone walks away. Repeat it until it feels true. Over time, this habit strengthens the quiet reminder that your identity does not depend on anyone else's approval. Living this way frees you. It allows you to engage with others warmly, without fear. And often, that freedom makes you even more attractive, because people sense they are with someone steady, not desperate. They know you are complete on your own. And that is a presence no one can ignore. You've now seen these 7 powerful signs: silence that carries weight, calmness that doesn't get shaken, scars that tell a story, the ability to choose instead of chase, a steady gaze that speaks without words, living in the present moment, and staying yourself even if someone walks away. Each of these is not a trick, not something to pretend. They are qualities that grow naturally from the life you've lived and the wisdom you carry. Attraction after 60 is not about competing with youth or trying to be what you once were. It is about presence, dignity, and character. These signs remind you that what makes you magnetic today is not loudness or charm, it is steadiness, honesty, and the quiet strength that others can feel when they are around you. So this week, try something small. Pause for 3 seconds before you answer a question. Write down 3 things you will never compromise on. Look someone in the eyes when you greet them. These little practices may seem simple, but they remind you, and others, that you are not invisible. In fact, you carry more weight than you realize. If this message speaks to you, I'd love to hear it in the comments. Just write, "I choose myself" first. Let that be your reminder that your worth has never faded, it has matured. And if you found this helpful, don't forget to subscribe and share this video with a friend who may need to hear it. Thank you for spending this time with me. Remember, the man you are today is not less attractive than before, he is simply attractive in a deeper, stronger, and more lasting way.